Welcome to the beginning of the goddamn podcast. Starting off with fucking fire today. I posted this on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw it. Although I know you both religiously follow me, and it's most of what your day is encompassing is checking every minute to see if I've posted something. But in case you missed this, Chad, you don't seem that enthusiastic about that. You seem like maybe that's not true. We only spout the truth here.
You got a fair bit of my attention during the day.
A fair bit, yeah. How good was that toast looking?
Oh, that was so bad. You ate that?
That's how I eat toast. I was shocked because normally when I order toast, I say I want it well done. And they bring it like soft and mushy, like it just was in the toaster for 30 seconds and the butter won't even melt on it. And that restaurant actually brought me a burnt toast, like toast the way I cook it, like burnt black. And I was like, wow.
Like seizure toast.
These people
I smell burnt toast.
These people, they legit brought the toast the way I wanted to eat it. And they didn't give me a hard time. The woman didn't say to me, "Are you fucking crazy? Do you have a problem? Are you fucking around? If I bring the food like this, you still have to pay for it." Which, legit, she could say that to people. Anyways, I was impressed that the Sunset Grill at Taunton and Wilson performed and burnt the toast the way I asked them to. Home fries were a different thing. They didn't burn them. They were
Did
probably
you ask for them to be burned?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I always ask for everything to be burned.
Wow.
If I order breakfast, I have 3 eggs over easy, and then I tell them to burn the bacon, burn the toast, burn the home fries.
So undercook the eggs, overcook everything else.
Goddamn right. Listen, no one in my whole life, 50 years plus, no one has ever come up to me and said, "Man, you're just so sane. You're just like such a sane guy." Like no one has ever said that to me. Not one fucking time. No one has ever brought. Anyways, you know what else happened today? It was like a fucking piss off. So one of the tires on the truck was leaking excessively on my pickup, like to the point where like it was legit a leak. It wasn't like just an air change and the stupid Dodge fucking tire sensor warning bullshit was coming on. It was like a legit leak. So I took the truck to Canadian Tire and I said, "Hey, like there's probably a nail in the tire or something. Can you just fix it for me?" And they're like, "Well, that's going to be $45." And I'm like, "Well, it's going to be a lot more expensive if I do it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I don't have time for this shit. So can you just fix the tire? Because that's like, I thought that's what they were there for. Maybe I'm wrong." So anyways,
I didn't know they fixed tires at Canadian Tire.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, we have tire shops all over the place. So pull
Oh,
a nail out of your tire.
They were on my way. Technically, I was trying to go home when this all occurred to me, that because my normal, what I would do as a person, I feel like I'm maturing at 50. Because normally what I would have done as a person is saw that tire was leaking and done nothing about it and kept putting air in it for at least 2 months. A minimum of 2 months. And then at some point when it was really affecting my life and it was horribly, horribly inconvenient, then I would have made someone else deal with it. But today I was like, I'm 50. I can probably deal with this problem on my own promptly. The tire's only been leaking for 1 day. So I went to the Canadian Tire to actively deal with my problem, which is rare. But also Cody was off today, or I probably would have made her do it. But anyways, I don't like that kind of interaction. It bothers me. When I had to switch all the tires around earlier this year, I made Darian do it because I don't like those kind of interactions. I don't know why. I just don't. I don't like interactions with public people. Whatever.
I can understand that.
So it's weird. Like I'm happy to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning or 4:30 in the morning and go do work or be one of the team. Or if someone's off, I'll go drive their truck for them. But man, I don't want to go to the tire shop. I don't know. I just have like a tire shop phobia, maybe. Anyways, so I went to the tire shop today because I was like, I'm 50 and I should deal with these problems on my own. And I left the truck there and I walked across the street to the Sunset Grill where I ate the burnt toast. And then they called me and said, "Hey, we have some really, really bad news." And I was like, "Okay, how bad can this be?" Like, I asked you to put a plug in the fucking tire. And they're like, "Yeah, these tires are horribly cracked and all the air is leaking out through the cracks. All four of them." I thought, okay, well, like these tires, admittedly, I bought them like a couple weeks ago and they're not brand new. They were used tires because I just was like on a budget this spring because it's, we're in a bit of a tough time. So on a budget.
Boy,
So,
do I have a deal for you. You tell me you didn't buy the tires.
oh, I know. Hold on. I'm talking about the used tires.
Okay.
So I was like, I know these tires aren't perfect, but like I had a pretty good look at them. And so it's like, I don't think they're that fucked up. So I said to the guy, "Can you just take the truck out of the shop and just park it outside? And if I owe you $20 for the inspection or something, whatever, I'll come back and get it. I just have to finish eating this burnt bacon and I'll head on over." And then the guy was like, "I don't know if we can let you drive away with the tires in this condition."
Citizen's arrest.
I said, this is what I said to him. I said, "Listen, bro, I've been having a really tough time. Things have not been going well in my life. You know how people will say to you, when something's happening to someone, you got to wonder what's going on in their personal life outside of that situation?" He said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Just bring the truck outside so you don't have to fucking wonder that when I get there." And so when I got there, the truck was outside. And he said, "Here's your key, sir." And I said, "Thanks so fucking much." And I left. They didn't even charge me. Although I did offer to pay them. They said, "No, don't worry about it." I guess they decided they didn't want to ruffle my feathers. So on my way, so then I decided, you know what? If this is leaking through crack, I looked at tires. They don't look cracked to me, but I was like, fuck it. I'll just fill up the tires with this green slime shit because that will fill whatever cracks are in the tires and I'll continue on with my life. And hopefully these stupid fucking Dodge sensors that have some rating that I don't even understand what it fucking means will stop going off. But on my way to the yard, Brad called me to tell me that the big float was fixed. And I said, "Hey man, I need some advice. The people at the Canadian Tire are saying the tires are so cracked and shitty that air is leaking through them." And I don't think that's true, but again, I'm not like a huge mechanic person. And he was like, "That's crazy. Bring the truck to the yard." I'm like, "I'm on my way to the yard anyways with the green slime." He was like, "Don't put the fucking green slime in. It'll fuck up the sensors." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Just bring the truck to the yard." So I brought the truck to the yard. I turned it all the way to the right. I drove forward a foot. He's like, "Yeah, there's a big, huge nail in the fucking tire." He pulled the nail out, put the plug in, cut it off, and now the tire is fine. And I'm like, why the fuck couldn't Canadian Tire just do that? How hard is
Wow.
that? I mean,
Wow.
fucking crazy. Like, dude, like just because they're trying to sell me a new set of tires.
I would have clocked the guy.
It's-
That's something else.
They put the truck outside. That's what I asked them to do. And all of this is a lesson why I should have sent someone else to the tire shop.
If you sent someone else to the tire shop, might
You would have had a
returned
new set
with
of
four new
tires.
set of
No, they
four
would
new
never. They would
tires.
never have bought tires without me authorizing it. No, but
Um,
they would. I maybe none of it would have happened. It's something about me. Anyways,
I have a tire story that happened
sure.
to me within the last few days, actually, and I'm struggling with how much of this story I want to tell because
Tell it all.
it's a big client of ours,
Oh,
and he owns many, many tire shops. Um, anyway, here we go. I had a meeting with this client to finish up a project that's been ongoing for a couple of years, and at the end of the meeting, he turns to me and says, "One more question. Where'd you get your tires?" And I sort of thought about it for a second because they're not tires that they sell at his retailers. And I said, "Oh, I got them at this place." He goes, "Okay." And keep in mind, this guy has given us tens of thousands of dollars, maybe more, of work in the past couple of years. And I thought about it for a while after I left. And I thought, should I be buying my tires from him? Even though a set of tires from one of his companies is around $2,500 for a good set. The Chinese tires that I had on my truck were about $1,200. So today I went to one of his tire shops and said, I need a new set of tires. And they said, but there's nothing wrong with yours. And I said, well, it's the principle of the matter. When can you do my new tires? I said, bring it in Tuesday. So I was somewhat guilted into buying a brand new set of tires. So
With
PK, if
with
you want a set of tires that the air does not leak from through the cracks,
Does he know that you ordered the tires? Did you say, "Hey,
uh,
can you send an email to this guy too and let him know that I bought the tires?"
no.
Or was he in the
But
back room and you yelled out, "My name's Chad. I'm buying some tires."
this is what I'm going to do. So I've got a meeting at the client's home within the next few weeks. As soon as we get rolling, actually, he's excited to get the job going. I'm going to stop down the road because it's about a 2-hour drive from our yard. I'm going to tire shine all the new tires on my
Nice.
truck,
Yeah.
and I'm going to pull up at the house and not say anything and see if he notices. If he doesn't notice
So-
by the end of the meeting, I'm going to say something.
That's so funny.
Were the
But-
tires? Were you talking on your pickup truck?
On my 1-ton.
Have you on your 1-ton truck?
My 1-ton pickup, the what I drive every day, the black
The
Ram.
black Dodge, the black Ram.
Yeah.
My immediate reaction would have been they came on the truck.
I wasn't that. So what I said, I wasn't that
I'm
quick
so
to think.
much
What
better at
I
lying
said,
than you.
yeah, absolutely. What I said was, oh, I didn't plan on keeping the truck. I wanted to sell the truck. And then I got into it. I'm like, trucks are so expensive these days, and I'm just fucking trying to dig myself out of this little fucking hole, right? As I'm on my way out, I'm like, Christ. Like, I'm usually good at talking to people. I could not talk my way out of that one. So, oh well.
As soon as you said that, I was like, "Oh, they came on the truck." That was boom right in my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
So my personal opinion on your situation is you should have buy tires from this guy.
Yeah. And you're probably right. I probably made a misjudgment when I bought the tires, but who could pass up the idea of saving a good $1,300, you know?
Yes.
Because the intention was to sell the truck. Trucks are so damn expensive these days. Like, it's not worth it.
Yes.
It's better to hold on to the
Well,
truck.
I got my cracked leaking tires that aren't actually cracked or leaking. I got them from Facebook.
Hmm.
I just went on Facebook Marketplace because I needed my tires the tires that were on the truck were bald and our budgets are slim this year. So I went on Facebook and bought 60% tread open country Toyo 20-inch tires for $400 or something.
Maybe I should sell my China tires there. Recoup
Oh
some of
yeah,
the.
put them on there for $300.
25.
Someone will come and buy them.
Yeah.
How new are your
'Cause-
China tires?
Not even a year old. There's probably maybe 30,000 kilometers on them max.
Oh fuck! You totally could have pretended they came with the truck.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I'm not that quick to think, I suppose. But either way, I'll have a clean conscience and a new set of tires.
But here's the part that how your brain works better than mine. Because there's two ways I would have gone with that. They came with the truck, or I bought them at your place.
Oh,
That's the two lies I would have told
no,
in that moment. But you were aware that his dealership didn't sell those tires.
oh yeah, absolutely.
How did you know that?
Because they're Chinese tires.
Yeah, but maybe
And
he sells Chinese
this is
tires.
a very reputable tire shop. They're almost Ontario wide at this point, I think.
So they don't sell Chinese
They don't
tires.
sell the garbage. They only sell the good stuff.
Why
I
was-
I didn't get into the whole thing about how all our trucks go there for e-tests and how I have $1,000 trailer hitch on my truck from one of his establishments. Like there's all these other. I don't not give him any business. I just didn't have the right tires.
You just didn't have the Chinese tire.
I just didn't
You
have
didn't give him your Chinese tire business.
yeah.
After you admitted that, you should have said, "How much did I spend with you last year?"
No. Well, then if you go, how much did I spend with you to me? And I would have like,
Oh, yeah.
Is
I
that
would
the
have been in the
bat?
hole again.
Is that the battle you really want to get into with a client? Who
Absolutely.
spent more with each other? Yeah,
Yeah.
it just seemed like a
This
productive way to spend a meeting.
side note, this client has been absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't fault them. Maybe I would have taken a job like that too if I had given someone a ton of work. So I mean, I
Hey,
don't fault the guy
my
at all.
brother hired a different landscape contractor.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Whatever. That's about what my family feels about me. That's okay. Whatever. It's not easy being the black sheep. I think I was at my parents. My mom was like, "Yeah, Paul got his landscaping done." I'm like, "Really? By who? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?"
You mean this is a new occurrence? He just got it done?
That was like 3 years ago, 4 years
Oh,
ago,
oh.
3 years ago. Well, it was okay 3 years ago to fuck me over, but
No,
it
but I
would have been
thought he
bad if
got
it
it
was
done
today.
in January, and you would have been
No,
best not to do it in January. So
no.
maybe he called someone else.
I wasn't devastated he didn't hire me to do the landscaping because he lives far away and legit, like sometimes people don't want to do business with family. I was a little bit hurt that he didn't at least send me the quote so I could go over it, make sure he wasn't getting fucking ripped off. That part of
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know if I really wanted to go work for him anyways, but uh I would have at least looked over the quote and make sure he wasn't getting fucking jacked. But then I was like, if you didn't ask me at all, I hope you got fucking jacked, motherfucker. Like, oh, that's the truth. It's not like he likes me, obviously.
Well,
I'm
maybe he
just
did you a
kidding.
favor. Like you say, maybe he did you a favor by not
Well,
bringing
maybe he
family
thinks I
into
do
the
shitty
project.
work. He's allowed to think that.
Yeah. I
Maybe he
wonder
went
what.
on my Instagram and was like, all this motherfucker does is eat pickles and fucking get uncut bagels. Well, I don't want him doing my landscaping. Totally legit. That's a legit thing. Like, totally fucking legit. The other thing that's interesting that happened to me was I got this really weird inquiry. I should bring it up and we could, because I posted this on Instagram too. And people seem to actually really like this. It was I got an email inquiry from a, here's the first inquiry. Oh, this isn't the first inquiry. That's like his response to the first inquiry.
Are you
So,
guys getting more and more people reaching out to you these days? This week?
No, I didn't get anyone, but this guy, what did I file this under? Oh, so Jack looked up this company and it's called Euro Construction, but it's actually um it's some kind of like staffing agency. It's not actually a construction. And then there's another one called Lila Labelle Lakeview.ca. So they sent me this email and it says, greetings from the Euro World Corporation Incorporated. I like how they have double Corporation Incorporated there. We trust this message finds you in good health. This is a project in hand. We are pleased to invite you to submit a quotation for the supply and installation of driveways and landscaping for the construction of 6 houses located at 52 Duke Street, Bowmanville. The project must adhere to the regulations outlined in the Ontario Building Code. And then the scope of work is supply and installation of driveways and landscape areas. They want to start at 01/04/2024. I've been to this lot, and just for the record, there is not, they haven't even dug the houses, but they want me to do the grass in a month. This actually didn't seem that AI, but the next
It sounds
email,
foreign though. Like,
oh, it's
not a
definitely,
white
yeah,
guy wrote that.
NANDAKUMAR wrote it.
Sounds like the guy
Nan,
doing my
Nanda
HST audit.
Nanda Kumar. Nanda Kumar wrote it. So he's the sourcing and procurement manager. So if you look at the drawing has absolutely no information on it, and there's absolutely no, like, they just says supply driveways. Okay, well, like, do you want asphalt driveways, gravel driveways? There's no details for anything, no details for the sod. So then I sent an email back saying, hey, do you have details? And this is the email I got back. I appreciate your prompt response and attention to our project. Kindly be informed that our current requirement is design and build services. It's important to note no additional landscape designs or drawings needed, as site plan and grading already encompass landscape areas. And I guess that's weird language, but it's okay, I guess. But then this is drawing on your valuable experience. We kindly request you to provide a quotation that is both economical, competitive, and professional sound. Your timely cooperation in this manner is greatly appreciated. What the fuck are you talking about? My timely cooperation in this manner? Like what? We're hoping that you really cooperate with this. Like, what are you, fucking moron? So then today, neither Jack nor I responded to this shit. Because I was busy doing other stuff like fighting with Canadian Tire. And he sent another email today, and it says, good afternoon, Mike. I do like that ChatGPT definitely defines whether it's sending me the email in the morning or the afternoon, which is fucking great. In continuation of the trailing mail, that's what it says. In continuation of the trailing mail, FYI, I am looking for a standard soft landscaping and driveways only. Please consider only for the supply and installation of grass lawns and the driveways. Thanks, bro. That's so much more fucking information. Like, now I'm ready to quote this. So Jack did a takeoff of the grass area and the driveway area, and I'm going to send these people a quote, but I actually created my own Chat GTP account today. And I requested a 3,000 word response. 3,000 words on why you should use my landscape company for your sodding and driveways. Because I'm going to send this fucker back a quote, but he's going to get a 3,000 word response that he has to go through to find out where the quote is. All from
Are you going to get in a Chat GTP battle with the guy?
Yeah, I am. Because it's so fucking stupid. And the most bizarre thing about this is, while I'm going through all this, and I'm doing this because it's the middle of, what's the end of February, start of March, and I have nothing fucking going on. I thought, how much do you want to bet we end up sodding and paving these fucking driveways and this land? Like, I'm like, this is going to happen. Like, I know now, because every other person isn't even going to respond to this shit. And I'm going to respond to it. And this guy's going to be like, I've got him. I've got my fucking hooks in this stupid fat fuck. And he's going to keep sending me back these fucking things. And I'm going to keep sending them back to him because I think it's funny. And at some point, we're going to be there sodding these 6 stupid houses in Bowmanville that haven't even started to be built. And so he's saying 04. So it's January, February, March, April. He's saying he needs this sod and driveways in April.
Wow.
I drove to the site on Sunday. Kelly and I went out there because I like to go see stuff that we're bidding. And I thought, hey, maybe if these houses are all built and ready to go, this is actually a legit thing. And this guy just doesn't speak good English. So he's fucking around with Chat GTP. So maybe this is like a legit job. I went there. It's like a fenced in lot with nothing done and a 200-year-old spruce tree right in the middle. And I was like, that's going to be a problem in no matter what municipality you're in. No one wants to kill that fucking tree. Maybe in Cornwall.
Oh yeah, I'd take it right down. No one would know.
Cornwall, and it might be the last place where you can just cut down trees and fucking.
I do all the time.
It.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even cut them, and I push them over with a shovel. That's it.
That shit's not happening here.
Oh.
It's not happening. So I'm going to get in a Chat GTP battle with the guy. He'll probably look up and say, "Can you send me a 4,000 word response to this bullshit?" and send it off.
It sounds like the same guy writing this shit to you is the same guy preparing the Nigerian prince fucking emails for retired people to try and get them to give
Yeah.
like their life savings away. It seems like it's written the same way to me.
This trailing email.
And the other thing, Jack is a really smart guy. How deep is he going to let you get in with this guy before
I
he
think
says, that's enough. We've spent enough time here.
so. Jack was the one who ran the email because they have a chat GTP detector online. So you can copy and paste something in and it will tell you whether or not AI wrote it. So he was the one who initially, I don't think I read things thoroughly enough to know that it was, but then it was weird, but I was just like, whatever. But then he called me and said, I'm pretty sure I fed this through the chat GTP detector and it's definitely AI written. What do you want to do with it? Of course, then it really piqued my interest. I was like, oh, now we've got something to do. We've got something going on.
Wow.
Well,
Good luck.
I think Jack will probably shut it down. I think he will, but maybe. I don't think he's just happy if I don't call him 6 times a day. If I just leave him alone. So maybe he thinks, so that will distract Mike while I do actual stuff.
Treats you like a child.
When he gets in a war with the European construction guy from, anyways, you have a what, Chad?
I got him on a couple things as well. He's burning the midnight oil for me too. So
You don't think he's the best?
I think he's great. I don't know
I
how
know.
I've done it without him. We should have him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, we should definitely have Jack on the podcast. 100%.
Imagine all the work we need the guy. Wow.
Do you really want to reveal too
I don't
much?
want him to get as terrible as it is.
Yeah.
He's so good at doing my stuff. I want to keep him doing my stuff. But.
Yeah. This is how you grow your company, though. You have someone doing that stuff that you trust that's doing a fantastic job, so you can focus on other things.
Hire him full time. Take him out to Cornwall.
I don't think I can afford him full time.
No.
I don't think he wants to work for anyone full time.
No,
I think he likes being entrepreneurial. That's just my opinion. Like he could tell you different, but just my impression of him is he's a young guy and he's a go-getter guy and he's a smart guy, and I think he just likes working for himself. The freedom of it.
He will do very well for himself.
He will, yeah. He will. I agree. He'll be. I don't have any worries about him. I'm sure he'll have more money than me in a year. Pretty confident. Anyway,
if your crypto keeps going up, that could be a different story. My goodness, what a run this week!
To the moon!
Yeah.
Holy cow! To the moon!
To the moon! So we just started that rooftop job this week on a Saturday. I don't know if you guys saw, we were craning bags and doing a bunch of shit at Yonge and Adelaide. Mike never showed up, even though he said he would.
I texted you, and then I get a message back. It's all done.
So in advance, I'm telling you, on March 9th, we're going to be there craning more stuff.
Okay, March 9th.
If you want to come down, and we could have a How to Hardscape interview live on the rooftop at Adelaide and Yonge, one Adelaide. It was a cool experience. I've been involved with some crane stuff, but never where it was like sort of our job. And we're doing the job with the guys from Jordan and Derek from DPR are sort of we're doing it with them as a partnership. Which is great because they're first of all, they're great guys and they have amazing skills. So it's good to have someone like that on board with you when you're doing a complex job on a roof. So it was neat. Like the road was blocked and this crane swinging everywhere. And there's a 50, Arntz had their B train truck there with 2 trailers full of bags of HPB. And we got the whole Yonge Streets basically blocked off. We have half the street. It was a really neat experience, and nothing bad happened, which made it even better. So, my favorite part though was like we're not we're labor only on that job, and we're organizing materials, but we're not purchasing them, and we're not responsible for bringing in the crane or anything because I didn't want the insurance legalities of whatever you need to get kind of insurance to start craning shit around on Yonge Street in downtown Toronto. I didn't want to get involved in it, so we are the labor, but we're not responsible. So there was two pay duty police officers, and so in the start of the morning, the one officer comes over to me and he says, "Hey, are you in charge?" I was like, "I guess sort of, like loosely, yeah." Why? He's like, "Well, what am I doing here?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, who's paying us?" I said, "Again, I don't know." He's like, "Well, why am I here?" I said, "Listen, bro, I'm guessing you're here because it's some kind of a rule that you have to have pay duty police officers here when there's a crane in the middle of Yonge Street. But I don't know why anyone called you and it wasn't me. So I don't know what you're supposed to be doing." He's like, "Well, do you want me to do something?" I said, "I don't know. What do you usually do?" He's like, "Well, we usually direct traffic, but there's a lot of pylons. We don't really need to do that." I said, "No." He's like, "What should I do?" I said, "I guess stand over there." He's like, "All right, we'll stand over here." And so the two pay duty police stood in the corner by themselves for 5 hours while we did all the craning. I don't blame them. Like no one, they seemed more than willing to do whatever. But I was like, yeah, I don't know who's paying you or why you're here, man. Like you're gonna have to find a different person to be in charge. It was so contracting though that it was +9 on Friday and +9 on Sunday, but -13 on Saturday when we were doing the craning. Perfect. Exactly what I was fucking looking for. Yeah. But it was
I
neat.
didn't see it. I didn't see a lot of flying super sack videos.
No, I didn't.
I have a few.
Oh yeah.
I posted one yesterday.
Oh.
But it's at the end of the video, and since you only watched 3 seconds of my videos, you wouldn't have caught the end of it.
Depending what I'm doing.
I'll post just a super sack tomorrow for you, and I'll tag you. This super sack flying video is solely for I Am a Hardscaper and the Landscape Daddy. That's it.
Yeah.
It was fun though to do something we never done before, and all the guys, the feedback I got from the team, because I was worried about taking this job. It's downtown. It's obviously outside of our box. We don't usually build patios on rooftops, and certainly we don't do it in downtown Toronto. So the feedback I got from all the guys was that they had a good time and it was really interesting and fun to do and different, and all the anxiety and sort of fear they had about starting the project and how it was going to go, it all went away once they were doing it. And then it was just like work. Once you get into that work mode, you're just doing something, and leads me to think that maybe we could get some more rooftop projects. I don't know. Maybe we have one more in Peterborough where we're doing but it's at the Canoe Museum. There's a rooftop part of it that we're supposed to do. Interesting story about that one. For someone who has nothing going on, I have a lot of fucking stories this week. Interesting story about that one is that the general harassed the fuck out of us to buy the pedestals. Did we talk about this last week on the program or afterwards? Or no?
I can't remember.
I don't think
okay, so the general contractor absolutely harassed us to buy the pedestals because they didn't want the pedestals to hold up construction of the terrace, which I get. So Jack did a takeoff. We ordered the pedestals. They came in. They're $4,000 fucking dollars for these pedestals. They came in. We ordered them, only to find out that while the general had been harassing us to buy the pedestals, they had not ordered the tile.
Oh.
Which takes 8 weeks to come from Italy.
Perfect.
I am happy that they were on us about the pedestals because it definitely motivated us to get them. I'm unhappy that there was no one motivating them to order the tiles, because now we have $4,000 worth of pedestals and no tiles, which fucking sucks on our end because now we have to pay for these stupid fucking pedestals before. I digress. The story gets better with this patio. They ship the tiles from Italy. The tiles show up. But the general and the tile manufacturer, between the two of them, forgot that they were supposed to be reinforced tiles. Because I guess when you're putting large porcelain up on patios, on pedestals, it all has to be like there's a reinforcement system they put on the bottom of the porcelain or something. I don't know enough about this to know, but there must be some kind of reinforcement system that goes on these tiles. They're so big. So I guess the tiles would have to go back to Italy and get reinforced and then come back. So they're looking for alternative solutions. So they found a different pedestal system and said, okay, figure out how much it would be to use this pedestal system. And I was like, well, you've already got $4,000 of the other pedestals, because if you think I'm paying for them, you're fucking nuts, because I don't want them. And I know that Arts doesn't want them in their fucking yard. So Jack does a takeoff with the new pedestal system, and it's like a more encompassing one that goes under the tiles more. How much do you guys this is 1,000 square foot patio. Like, keeping that in mind. It's 1,000 square foot patio. We already have $4,000 worth of pedestals to reinforce it with the new pedestal system, where we would still be able to use half of the old pedestals. How much do you think those pedestals cost? The reinforced pedestals.
I will say our last pedestal job that got switched to 1/4-inch chip base, the pedestals were $250,000. So I want to say 20 grand for 1,000 square feet.
Mike?
The previous pedestals were 4,000.
4,000. Now these are different because they're reinforced and more supportive.
Okay, I'm gonna say 12,000.
They were $14,000. Now keep in mind, you already owned $4,000 worth of garbage pedestals when all this happened.
Yeah.
So
Yikes.
I was talking to Jack. The other problem is the new reinforcement system, they won't go low enough. So it's going to make the patio 10 millimeters too high, which doesn't work for some reason on, like, with everything else that's going on the fucking deck. So it occurred to me while I was talking to Jack, I said, can we just like blow some HPB up there? And maybe
Only
just lay
1,000
these
square
things,
feet. Yeah.
lay these things on fucking HPB. And Jack said, maybe we should do that. Because Jack had already asked them like a year ago if they could just use HPB, and they said no, they wanted pedestals. So now the new system we're hoping will get approved is to just blow the HPB up there and then lay the porcelain on HPB. So
did you
if
give
anyone,
them the price
of
of the new pedestals versus HPB?
Yeah, it basically doubled the price of the whole fucking job.
Yeah, that's what did it for us. They walked that back real quick whenever they realized it was half the price.
I don't like. I've seen a pedestal. I've held a pedestal. I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind. They look like something from the fucking dollar store or some liquidation center.
I don't
think
get the hype behind these pedestal things.
I don't. They're just plastic. Someone is making a fuck ton of money on those.
Yeah.
I don't care what the plastic is. 14 fucking grand to do 1,000 square feet. What kind of plastic is this, man? I feel like buying a 3D printer. Can I not just make them?
Could you not get like a substitute from like Alibaba or fucking AliExpress or something like that? Like, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see.
Maybe you can. Like,
it's fucking crazy. So even if these people blow up the HPB, they're still the proud owners of $4,000 worth of shit pedestals. So if anyone has a job, because the things about pedestals are this, they're very specific to the pavers, and they're also incredibly specific to the spacing and to the heights that you need to achieve. My favorite part about this entire thing is that the patio has to be sloped to the drain.
But it's hollow underneath.
I agree with you. It's fucking hollow underneath. Who cares? The water is going to absolutely just run right through it. So who fucking cares? Like,
yeah, there was
it's
some engineering fuck ups on that, or they just don't understand, right? Like,
if it was me, I would have made the thing perfectly. I guess the pedestals are still going to have to vary in height if it's level, because the roof has to slope to the drain, even if you build it. Maybe that's how it's. This one specifically, everyone keeps saying to me, you have to slope the patios, the porcelain to the drain, which seems super fucking stupid. But
yeah.
really, the pedestals should adjust up and down based on the height of the roof below to keep them level, right?
Yes.
I've never really done this before, so I don't really.
We were told that from a pedestal manufacturer or something that if we wouldn't have switched our job from pedestals to HPB, it would have taken months and months to do 10,000 square feet. So, because we did it the old-fashioned way, our own way, I think it
because
was
you were
quite a,
because you would be adjusting the pedestal height so much.
no, yeah, right. Like to try and get all those tiles level on the rooftop whenever we just set screed bars, couple screeds,
Yeah.
and lay the tile. Actually, at that point, they wanted pavers on pedestals at the beginning, as opposed to tile on pedestals, which I'm not sure if it's any easier or what. Originally, they wanted modular pavers on pedestals.
What's a
I'm like,
modular pavers?
3-piece.
Oh my god!
Like I don't even think you can do it. I'm almost certain you can't do it.
If you do it, I'm going to tell you that it's a lot of fucking pedestals because there has to be one at every corner.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's possible. That
Look
would be
up
insane.
modular paver designs on pedestals, Mike. See if it's fucking possible. I've never seen it though, Chad. You're right.
That would be wild, but
When
and
Mike and
unnecessary.
I were up at the Car Peak event, there was a porcelain guy on there, and they gloss over the pedestals, and then they pass them out to everyone and say, "Yeah, you can just sit the porcelain on these pedestals." And I honestly feel like at some point someone should say, "Hey, these things are motherfucking expensive. You can't return them. It takes 8 weeks to get them, and no one actually really understands how they work, even the people who manufacture and sell them." So
Yeah.
I feel like the pedestals should come with like a warning label, like cigarettes. Like there should be some guy's rotting teeth on the box of the pedestals saying, "Warning, this is going to fuck up your day."
Fuck up your day.
Like, hope you bid this high, dumbass.
If this loads here. Oh, it just automatically recorded. I still can't do anything.
Yeah.
My screen's just
Don't
completely
try to
frozen.
share your screen again.
Yeah.
No, the only reason that I thought maybe there would be paver pedestals on Alibaba or whatever is because of Jack. So it's not my idea. He says,
Oh, did he ask
well,
that?
no, we were pricing a job together and he goes, we got to use this stuff, but at the end of everything, if we get the job, we can substitute something from AliExpress or whatever. Like, fucking perfect.
Oh, that's
We were just saying,
funny.
PK, another idea that I stole. That whole AliExpress thing, that's not mine. I took that right from Jack.
What did he say? How did that come up?
We were pricing some sort of soil retention thing, and he's like, well, we got to use this price, but if it comes down to it, we can get something off AliExpress or whatever. Like, fuck, this guy's
Alibaba.
a genius. So
He is. You're gonna
Yeah.
be way more profitable.
Yeah. We discussed our vast difference in pricing between you guys and us.
Yes.
And it's I don't know if I want to talk more about that. I'll have all the Toronto guys migrating down here for work. But
It is vast though.
it's vast.
Yes. It's a
You guys
vast
gotta hustle
difference.
hard down there.
Yeah. Or maybe we're just satisfied with making less or something. I don't know.
But cost of living is more and your yard
Right.
space is more and everything is so much more. Imagine
Yes.
working for less.
Yeah, I know.
It's frustrating.
It's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
What were we talking? Oh,
Race
you
to
were
the
talking about what
bottom.
you were going to start doing. What were you going to start doing, Chad?
Oh, yeah, we're
That
digging.
was actually a good conversation. Yeah.
We are digging starting Monday morning for a 5,000 square foot tile job. It's got some walls and everything, and I got to go out Friday and start measuring it up and laying it out on the lawn with the paint. And I'm
So is
usually a
it
white,
for a homeowner?
yeah, a homeowner client who's a buddy of mine, but we also do a lot of work with his construction company, who is coincidentally the construction company that does all the work for the tire guy. So we've got a lot to get us
What
going
kind of
there.
tires are on his truck?
He he buys his trucks new, takes the tires off, and puts the client's tires on the truck. Yeah, straight
Wow.
from new.
That's
Yeah.
So much
So,
smarter. That's
dedication.
smarter move than you.
well, yeah, that's why his company is thriving and mine is just puttering along, I suppose.
I feel like yours is thriving.
Yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I feel like you're doing all right.
yeah, we've
You're not buying your tires off Facebook Marketplace like me. So let's put that in perspective here. You're not searching for a deal on Facebook Marketplace.
yeah, I
You know,
suppose. I suppose.
that's something right there. I did score like when you're in the trucking business and you've reached a point where you're now trucking hay and manure off of farms,
Hmm.
you know that you're like really didn't have a great winter. A guy called me that I've known for a couple of years. He's a really good guy, and he calls. He's like, he's got a new job. He's in charge of like a big development project at a farm, and he's like, "Hey, man, can you do you know where to get rid of hay?" And like they've mucked it out, so it's just dirty hay. It's not like full of manure, but there's obviously some in it. Like, can you get rid of this hay? I'm like, I don't know. How much of it is there? He's like, a lot. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll find somewhere to take the hay. So I found somewhere to
You're
take.
transporting biohazard now.
Well, so that's
Do you have to put the
so
sticker on the back of the truck?
well. So we float the Darian and Ricky and I float the excavator out there because we have to load the hay too. I posted a video this week of like the excavator in the sun loading all this steaming shit. That was the steaming hay going in. Like, um,
I love it.
so Ricky's there and he's loading Darian's truck up, and they got a full load of hay in the truck of dirty hay. And Darian puts a tarp over it and he pulls out down the road. And I was watching him leave, and I thought, I wonder if we can legally haul it. Like it's not human waste. Like, do we need some kind of exemption? So I told Christy and Darian were hauling it. I told both of them, if you get pulled over, you fucking call for a farm exemption because we're
Yeah.
hauling from one farm to a fucking another farm. So you tell them this is all about farming, and farming also gets a half load exemption. Not that weighs anything, but
Farming gets a half load exemption?
yeah, it does. Yeah.
I own a farm.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Does that I wonder
Well,
how
it
that
has to be a farming activity.
well, we're putting in base for bins and stuff on the property. It's an agricultural property. Does that count?
You might get an exemption then. I don't know if I would.
Hmm.
When I've got a load of dirty hay in the truck going from one farm to another, I'm willing to pull out the farm exemption. If you feel like you need to pull the farm exemption to some gravel into your place, go for it. But don't do it based on my opinion that it might work.
Here's an idea. We're gonna take a dirty carpet, throw some hay over the top, and then throw that on top of a load of gravel.
Yep.
And claim the whole thing is dirty hay and we're coming from a farm.
You're all good then. It's a farming activity. Yeah.
Think of the racket you could pull. You could be delivering gravel to and from everywhere, full loads, with a dirty blanket of hay over top. Yeah.
I don't think half loads are going to be the whole time this year.
Well, they came off early last year.
Yeah.
I think it was
They've come off early the
March,
last couple of years, but there's no fucking frost in the ground to come out. Like there's
No.
literally none. You could dig anywhere. I'm honestly like I think because it's February, but I'm on like the end. If I don't start getting calls for bins next week, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing stopping anyone from working right now, except that from what I hear on the market, there's not that much work. So I put in a residential price with Nancy this week. It's a cool driveway. I don't know, have you guys seen that new permacon like turf stone kind of thing that makes all those weird circle patterns and shit?
Yeah.
That's what they wanted, so it was kind of cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, I was kind of like I don't normally get super pumped about anything residential anymore, but I was like, wow, that driveway is really cool. That would be like super neat to build.
It's easier to get stoked about projects that don't need polysand. I guess, right?
Yeah, there was no
Just one less thing to go.
There was no. Yeah, there was no. Well, I feel like there's potential for things you fill with dirt and then throw grass seed on them to not go well when people are parking their car there.
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe you'll get to sod all the little holes.
I think what I found the most interesting. Well, I priced to get RTF grass seed in it. RTF grass is that like grass that doesn't take nearly as much water and it has a much deeper root system and it's more drought resistant and it's a way different color of green. So I priced RTF grass seed in it. Honestly, I think what I found the most interesting about it was I didn't know exactly how to build it. Like I had an idea of how I wanted to do it, but I reached out to JC from Permacon and I asked him like, hey, if you were building this in a permeable application with would you screed it and then put a sheet of filter cloth down and then lay the stone on the filter cloth so that the dirt doesn't seep into the base? Because I feel like there'd be a lot of migration every time it rained, the dirt in. And he was like, yeah. And then he sent me a bunch of specs and we talked about it for half a day back and forth. And I think that it's been a long time since I quoted something like that I really was like, hey, can we have a debate on how to build this and what we think is the proper method and the proper system? And I think it was like sort of mentally stimulating, maybe. You know, like most of the stuff I quote, it's like build a driveway. And I'm like, okay, I know how I build a driveway. Build a patio. Well, I know how I build a patio. Like I'm not saying it's just not the same as building something you've never built before or using a product you've never used before. So I enjoyed actually. I really hope we get that job. It's a really nice design too that Nancy did. It's all mega flagstone and armor stone plantings because where this house is, the deer come up out of the valley and eat all the plants. So it's designed as a deer repellent garden.
A deer repellent garden.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the deer out of the garden because the deer keep eating everything.
Chad needs that for his dog lady.
What the dog?
Dog repellent garden.
Oh, the dog. What happened with the dog lady? Did you quote the job?
I haven't answered the phone in 2 weeks now because I'm afraid it's going to be her calling. Where's my price? I can't bring myself to talk to this
answer
lady.
Your phone ever again.
It's always best to just ignore the problem. Then it definitely goes away.
In this situation, I think it is, and I feel like if she does get me on the phone, I'll just say, "Well, I sent you your price. Did you check your junk mail?" and just like keep pretending that I did send it. Oh, I'll have to send it again, but no, no.
Pull the old
That's
junk mail scam.
That's it. That's it. Check your junk mail. Check your junk
Back
mail.
in the day, my go-to was your quote's on my dashboard. I just haven't been by your neighborhood in a bit. Because there was no email when I started. So you used to drive the quote back and put it in the mailbox. I'm like, your quote's on my dashboard. I just haven't got it to you yet. Like that was a
Good
go-to. But it doesn't work anymore. So like, well, like isn't it in your phone? Well,
Yeah.
did any
Yeah.
questions come in, Mike?
We got one single question.